I think that there should be like a kids internet or like kids online and then an adult online, so that nothing inappropriate that, like, let's say you've got nothing to do with or you don't want to know doesn't come up.
I think there should be gaming police that come to your door if you're not good on games.
There should be like a kids YouTube for people, because when you scroll on YouTube, some inappropriate things come up that aren't for kids.
A social media platform for kids. I think that would be best for kids to learn about each other, make new friends, socialize.
I think that ads and videos should be blocked if they're not appropriate and removed from the device.
Someone said something rude, for instance, like they could get like a day banned or something, or like an hour banned. There could be age groups, like all the 8-year-olds could play in one game and all the 9-year-olds could play in a different game. Like, so then the age groups are different and then adults can play in another round. Do you sometimes go on games that aren't your age?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't think you should go. Do you agree?
No.
If it's because of like the graphics and stuff, then I think like it doesn't really matter, you should still be able to go on it. But if it's like just because you can text strangers, I think you're kind of like trustworthy not to do that.
If it mattered so much, then they would have put like more restrictions on it and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you agree that there should be age restrictions on games?
On some games, like if it's like 18 plus, then yeah, I don't think you should go on it. But like Snapchat, everyone goes in it in my class and they're only 10 when it's 13 plus.
Yeah.
Would you like if the apps were for people more like for our age?
Yeah, but like YouTube Kids, for example, it's a good app, but I feel like it's a bit too babyish.
Yeah, because some of them are like games, but some of them are texting platforms. For the games, I think there shouldn't really be an age restriction unless they're like showing certain pictures.
Yeah. Do you sometimes get asked your age on like games and stuff?
Yeah, but sometimes I lie about my age to be able to get onto it.
Do you feel safe like on apps more like 16 plus apps and over?
50-50 really, because if I say that there's going to be like lots of people, I would feel very uncomfortable. But if it was just like, for example, my friends or cousins or family members, I wouldn't really be uncomfortable.
How do they get you to put in your age?
Normally you type in your age, your date of birth, or they just don't ask you, so it's really easy to lie and you can just play anyway.
So your parents will tell you to turn off your game when you're playing to go eat dinner, and you'll go eat dinner, and then the whole time you're trying to tell them something and they'll be scrolling on their phones, going on whatever media they're on.
The weird thing is, if we took away their phones or devices, they would be really angry at us.
My mum goes scrolling on her phone forever. About like 8 o'clock in the morning, she's scrolling on her phone. But how come we're not allowed the time to go on our electronic gadgets?
They always constantly try to put the separation, oh, you're not living in the real world, you're ignoring the real world, when I find them to be very much interconnected. There are elements that are in the real world, elements that are in the online world. And just because some elements are associated with the online world, it doesn't make everything else invalid, such as making an online friend. By a lot of parent standards, simply the fact they're online and they're not geographically close means their friendship means little. But at least for me, I find a lot of the time online friends can be some people I confidently confide in. I feel like they think of the internet as anything done on the internet as a lesser form of doing it. Whilst for us, I feel like we see it more so as an alternate way to do it. Did you go on any 13+ sites when you were a kid?
I did go on some sort of maybe messaging apps that technically weren't, age appropriate. For example, terms and conditions said 13+. It wasn't exactly that age. But I think when using them, it's maybe as long as your parents understand what you're using, and maybe even if your parents moderate what you're sending, I think that's a way that you can utilize these apps for good, these messaging apps and just chatting apps, because of course social media is very good for socializing with people. So as long as in moderation and as long as you have consent from your parents, I think that can be a way to utilize them for good.
Additionally, I feel like companies need to be careful around the situation, because outright banning anyone they catch under 13 could in a way cause more damage. It causes kids to become more reliant on lying about things, pretending to be someone they're not, which creates a rather toxic person, I'd imagine. As they grow older, they get more used to lying and it devolves into a worse situation. Do you think if there was a way to actually properly check someone's age before they go on a website, we should make websites for people of younger ages, such as websites specified for 10-year-olds?
Overall, I think yes. Even though there's some apps which seem to have slightly more ridiculous age ratings, I think overall we should, because there is danger. And I think if there is a presence of danger, no matter how strong it is, it could always escalate. So having these apps that are specific for children and specific for older teens or adults, having these things can prevent inappropriate messages, inappropriate pictures, all these things that are dangerous and that can influence people's lives.
There's nothing companies can really do to make sure that we're 18 or 16 or 13.
So what would you like to be different online?
I think holding a lot of tech companies to high standards, such as Roblox. There's a whole sort of underground black market around items in the game where children are being encouraged to spend money from their parents' credit card on Robux and then selling these items for whatever price they want.
They can't look into every account. I think tech companies should in themselves look at what feed has been posted and take down anything that they think is extortion, or take down anything that could impact young children on games like you've mentioned.
Especially with the increase in capability of AI. AI moderation seems even better and should be more used.
So I'd like people who use the internet to know exactly what they're seeing, where it came from. We were talking about AI earlier, and just making sure that people know that it's AI generated. Or also, it would be nice to allow people to know where the data is being collected, what it's being used for. It may be target advertising, but I think that companies should make it clearer what the data is being used for.
I definitely agree. One of the main things I'd be concerned about is privacy online, and ensuring that your personal data isn't misused by large corporations, and that you know exactly where the data that you're submitting into an online form, where it's going and how it's being used.